And we are back at Up North at 4. Today we are here with Colton Mellinger, who is the Executive Director of Headwater's Christian Youth. Colton, thank you for coming on and joining us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Headwater's Christian Youth. Let's talk a little bit about that for those that never heard of it.
Sure. So we're a local nonprofit down on Brown Street. We've been around since 1972. So we are an interdenominational youth ministry. So basically, big word meaning we work with all churches instead of just one or two. So we try to work with everybody. We have group for high school and middle school students on Monday nights. We have about 15 to 20 students going to that. And then we have a group in Crandon as well that pushes about 40 students. So
1972, over 50 years
over
of
50
success,
years.
right?
Yeah.
So these groups you talk about, who are they geared for?
High school, middle school students who typically, a lot of them either don't go to church or just need a place to come and learn more. And so a lot of our stuff, being interdenominational, we have to keep our theology kind of neutral, right? So it's a lot of just basic intro stuff, learning just, who Christ is and stuff like that. So yeah, been very, very successful though.
Okay.
And so you only meet on Mondays then, or do you have other days as well?
Monday nights, yep. Monday nights are primary. I run the Fellowship of Christian Athletes huddle in the high school on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday. So, but yeah, and then our Crandon group meets on Wednesdays. So
Are there lots of groups like this in the Northwoods, these youth Christian groups?
I would say a lot of churches have them. I would say there's not a lot of just youth ministry groups. So I think that's what makes Headwater's Christian Youth a little different is typically, there's a church and they have to kind of try to get to everybody, right? They're focused on adults, they're focused on older people, younger people, and we're just solely focused on youth.
Yeah,
so,
if we had one of the youths here and I asked them what they get out of this, what would they tell me, do you think?
We actually took some surveys not too long ago, and we had a lot of the students, what they were talking about was it was a safe place for them to learn. They felt that they could ask questions and not feel judged, they felt. And then it's very tailored to how they learn, right? So it wasn't over their head, it wasn't confusing, it was easy to take in, but yet push them, if that makes sense.
Okay, so if someone wants to, because we have something coming up, which we'll get into a little bit, but if someone wants to join something like this, join the Christian Youth, where do they go? How do they find out more information?
Yeah, so if they want to look up more information, our website's www.myhcy.com. Otherwise, just stop by 6:30 on a Monday night. We're down on Brown Street next to Hometown Pharmacy. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a void here sometimes with youth because they are so busy and they can't always make it to church on Sundays or Saturday night. And this is a logical place to kind of meander to, right? And then you're guiding them in a direction where they're making their own decisions in terms of theology, but they're also learning some life lessons in the process, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, is that guiding them a certain way through, Christianity, or what's your goal with that?
Yeah, we want teens to know who Christ is, and so I know as they grow in their faith, as they grow spiritually, I try to connect them with churches that I know will take care of them. That will know they will care about them. So, very, very important for that.
And as they leave you and your group, are they finding success at these churches down the road?
Yeah. I know we've had a lot of college students leave over the past couple years, and it's always rotating. And I will say it's really special for me growing up in youth ministry. Whenever the college people are back, they show up on Monday nights, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, where'd you guys come from? And so I don't even have to call them. I don't even have to. They just want to be back, and they want to visit. So it's really
that safe place you speak of. That's a safe place.
That bonding as well.
Yeah.
I like that. So you are sponsoring a upcoming performance that will be happening at Rhinelander High School.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this performance. What can people expect to see in this performance?
Sure. So Heaven's Gates Hell's Flames, it's brought on by a ministry or an organization, Reality Outreach Ministries. They do this, they've been doing this for probably as long as HCY has been around, but they do it all around the country, all around the world actually. And so I know they have 3 different performances this week, and so one of us is Rhinelander. And so they come in, they bring in all the lights, all the sound, all the props, all the stuff, and we supply the actors. So everybody in this production is from the Northwoods. So Merrill, Rhinelander, Eagle River, Minocqua, Crandon, and people come together and we start rehearsing Friday and Saturday and all day Sunday after church on Sunday, and then first performance is Sunday night, Monday night, and then Tuesday night. And it's a lot of talking about just our decisions in life, and from a Christian perspective, what's the reality of where did those decisions lead us? What do those, And I think it's important. I think even for Christian people who see it, sometimes we get lost in theology. Sometimes we get lost in these really deep talks, and sometimes we forget just the emphasis of what we're actually after. And
you lose the message.
Right, exactly. And so sometimes it brings people who are Christian just like, oh. And so it's impactful. It's intense, but it's good. It's enjoyable. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday at 7 o'clock at the Rhinelander High School. Those will be happening free of charge to everybody. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Colton, for that. All right, we look forward to seeing the performance. Coming right up, we're going to be talking about how well do you know your Shakespeare right after this break.